BBC chairman Richard Sharp has resigned. We're still waiting for details of a report that's due out now, which was looking at how he was appointed as the BBC's chairman in February 2021. It was considering if Mr. Sharp properly disclosed any involvement he had in facilitating an £800,000 loan guarantee to Boris Johnson, who was the Prime Minister at the time. Let me just bring you that news again. Richard Sharp has resigned as chairman of the BBC. He's given this statement. Let's hear what he has to say today.
Good morning. I would like to thank Adam Heppenstall and his team for the diligence and professionalism they have shown in compiling today's report. Mr. Heppenstall's view is that while I did breach the governance code for public appointments, he states very clearly that a breach does not necessarily invalidate an appointment. Indeed, I've always maintained the breach was inadvertent and not material, which the facts he lays out substantiate. The Secretary of State has consulted with the BBC board, who support that view. Nevertheless, I have decided that it is right to prioritise the interest of the BBC. I feel that this matter may well be a distraction from the corporation's good work were I to remain in post until the end of my term. I have, therefore, this morning, resigned as the BBC chair to the Secretary of State and to the board. It was proposed to me that I stay on as chair until the end of June, while the process to appoint my successor is undertaken, and I will, of course, do that in the interests of the corporation's stability and continuity. Let me turn to the events that are subject of today's report. When I sought in December 2020 to introduce the Cabinet Secretary to Mr. Blythe, I did so in good faith. I did so with the best of intentions, and I did so with the sole purpose of ensuring that all relevant rules were being followed. I am pleased that Mr. Heppenstall supports the fact that my involvement in these matters, as he states, was accordingly very limited. After extensive work, he states, his words, that he is happy to record that he has seen no evidence, and nor could he, to say I played any part whatsoever in facilitation, arrangement, or financing of a loan to the former Prime Minister. Now, during my conversation with the Cabinet Secretary on December the 4th, 2020, I reminded him of the fact that I was in the BBC appointment process. I believed, as a result of that conversation, that I had been removed from any conflict or perception of conflict. I understood this recusal to be absolute. This was my error. In my subsequent interview with the appointments panel, I wish, with the benefit of hindsight, this potential perceived conflict of interest was something I had considered to mention. I would like once again to apologise for that oversight, inadvertent though it was, and for the distraction these events have caused the BBC. For more than 20 years, I've devoted time and energy to public service, whether at the Institute of Cancer Research, at the Royal Academy of Arts, on the Financial Policy Committee of the Bank of England, or as an economic advisor to the Treasury working up to protect British business, including the creative industries, during the pandemic. And for more than 2 years now, I've seen the beating heart of the BBC up close. And for all its complexities, successes, and occasional failings, the BBC is an incredible, dynamic, and world-beating creative force, unmatched anywhere. As chair, I have acted at all times in the public interest and for the betterment of the BBC. I'm proud to have fought for the recent return of government funding for the World Service. I've been active in commissioning independent thematic reviews of BBC coverage on touchstone issues, and I've championed the importance of the BBC as a well-funded and impartial public service broadcaster. To chair this incredible organisation has been an honour. The BBC's contribution to our national life is immense. Its people are hard-working and absolutely brilliant, and preserving and enhancing it really matters. Thank you.